right? So I think that's what, as we move forward, I think that's what success means to me.
Thank you. Tracy?
Yeah, I feel like today is a lot of pressure. So I'm representing my team here, nutritionist. So my purpose, again, I would say it's about passion. And it's not just, passion is not enough. It gets to a point where you do, like for me, when you said about evolution, I used to think my purpose is to wake up, see my patients, see them smile, leave that door. That, for me, that was my definition of purpose, being as a nutritionist. And then with time, it started getting boring. I was like, why do I need to wake? It's the same routine as Chris was mentioning. And then I had to search within, and it had to be more of impact. That keeps on driving you every single day. It will make you want to fulfill that passion, because you're like, oh yeah. So it evolved from just having passion to making sure that my patients were seen and making that change, to now making sure that it's not just about patients, it's about everyone. So if you even see on my LinkedIn and everywhere, I normally say nutrition is a right for all, because it's at your plate, it's in your kitchen. So with time, it has really evolved, and I would really recommend combine your passion with impact. It makes it easy. So again, success. This has been a success. So, and people measure success with big things. When you measure success with big things, it makes it hard to, because if today I see it as, oh my God, I need to do something really big, you start having fears of the next step. So for me, my success, I'd say, is the day I saw one person register, one person believe in entrepreneurship and Smart Spoon Plus, and even us being here, for me, this is a success. So thank you.
Indeed it is. Rita?
Well, most of them have already said my answers, but yeah.
In your own words.
My own words?
Yes.
Cool. So purpose, like Tracy has said, is passion. So I don't know how much more I can add to that, but maybe I can move on to success. So initially, success for me was in terms of client outcome. So if I would see a client come in and day one, maybe the instant they sit at my chair, you would see a very emotional person and everything, lost in thought and everything. Then 4 or 5 sessions down the line, the person who's walking in is completely different. That used to be success for me, because I'd go like, yes, we are doing something. But moving on now, success for me looks like alignment. It looks like peace. When I go home, am I at peace with what I'm doing? Am I aligning to my values, to my goals as a psychologist? So it used to be from how I view what people would come in as my clients and how they would leave. But now it's also me as an individual. Am I also aligned to what I'm doing? Or am I just being a good psychologist for people, but not being a good person for myself as well? Thank you.
Wow. And to you, our audience, what does purpose mean to you? Something to think about. And I think I'll take it back to Tracy as well. On the same breath, with the journey that you have had, with Oncotrition, with building the brand that you have built, with us being here today, how can they, because a good number of them are nutritionists, so how can they find purpose and meaning in what they do?
Sign up for Nutripreneurship. Finding your purpose, I think you have to soul search. It wasn't easy for me to say I want to just be in the field of oncotrition, like oncology nutrition. And it wasn't easy as well to just, because before, as I mentioned, I'd have nothing against diabetic nutritionist or renal or HIV, because those fields have already been established. There's a path, so you won't feel like you're lost. So imagine deciding to be a trailblazer, like you're now in a very different field. But if you believe, if you saw, like for me, when I first saw my cancer patients, I was like, okay, this is interesting. Let me see what more is here. Okay, this is nice. And then I realized there's nobody in oncology nutrition. I was like, okay, why is there nobody in oncology nutrition? But I had to sit down with myself and accept the fact that I might go in a field and be alone. I might not get clients. And you have first to understand yourself. You have to know your strength, your weaknesses, your opportunity. You have to do like a SWOT analysis first for yourself. So personal development. You can't be out there trying to find your passion yet you don't understand. Because what happens, which I've seen, if you don't understand yourself, today you'll be in oncology nutrition. Just because you didn't get a shilling or two this week, and then your friend comes there and tells you, hey, for diabetes, I got like 10. But since you had not understood your purpose, you move, you keep on shifting, and it happens. It happens to us. But if you just soul search and look into, I enjoy doing what I am doing. You don't have to do what everyone is doing. And again, I think I take people through their personal development. I keep on adding to it. You can be in a field like for me in oncology, but you can be a researcher in oncology nutrition. You can be a culinary oncology nutritionist. You can be a fitness oncology nutritionist. There's so many things that you can do. You just have to align and figure out, what do I like? So, yeah. And then you make an impact. Please, just don't do things to do things. They get boring. So do things that actually you can weigh and be like, the same thing. That's how you measure your success. So thanks.
Thank you. We'll go to Mozart. So you trained as a nutritionist, but your journey led you into marketing, into communication, and now leading PR in an international hotel brand. So how did you recognize that shift in your path?
I think I'll just try and give my journey. So I studied nutrition and dietetics at JQuat, and then as the nutritionists know, previously KNDI, which is the board for nutritionists and dietitians, required you to do a full year internship for you to be licensed. So I did that at Mama Lucy, and during that period, my case study was a 4-year-old who had jaundice and several complications. And before even my lecturer could come and assess me, unfortunately the child had passed on. I'm a very empathetic and emotional person. It dawned to me that that's not the environment I want to be in.
So they're laughing. You can relate, eh?
Yeah. And, at times you might have the qualifications, but that doesn't mean you're fit to be in that space. You might have the right grades, you might have everything right, but it doesn't mean that's your purpose or you're supposed to be there. So it dawned to me that, this is not the space I want to be in, and I didn't know what I want to do. But fortunately, after the internship, I got a telemarketing job, and I realized marketing is something that I would want to pursue. So I enrolled for a course at Strathmore, CIM, which is basically a professional course for marketers, the same way you have CPA for accountants. So I did that, and I felt home when I started doing that. And then I got a job, an internship basically, at my first proper hospitality job at Crown Plaza. And that's how I started my journey. And now I'm a panelist at Onco Nutrition. So basically, that's my story.
Let's clap for him. So if somebody, just picking from what you've said, so if somebody is feeling, where you were when you started, so if anybody in the room, is feeling the same way, so how can somebody embrace career evolution without feeling like they've abandoned themselves, their plans that they thought? So how can one, do what you did essentially?
I think I'll just sum it up by saying, there's a statement that says, life meets you at your level of audacity. So it's not about even knowing, exactly what you want, but just taking the steps. When Nike says, just do it, like they mean it, just do it. Just, trying, and, you never know. And, today is a testament of that. Tracy just being audacious and just trying. I know probably when you're starting and you're thinking, I'll probably be it's just you and Melissa here. That's probably some of the thoughts that you had, but, life just meets you at your level of audacity, so you just have to try.
Right. You had it. Just try. Over to you, Chris. So in this digital, yes, thank you. In this digital age, and the discussion that we've had earlier about AI and technology, so what can we do as entrepreneurs, as nutritionists, and everybody else that is represented in this room? What can we learn from how AI and technology is transforming branding and communication?
Thank you for this, Melissa. So I think transforming the industry, the fact that the industry has been transformed is an understatement. So I think just looking at the scale that you can actually achieve today, technology allows you to do that. So back in the days, just to give you an example, so I had a team of 60 people. I don't know why I was paying 60 people. My auditor told me not to do it, but anyway. So, and COVID hit, right? And then deliberately, so when I came from South Africa initially, my plan was to have a very lean team. Then that whole thing of, you want to see a lot of people in the office. I don't know, entrepreneurs have some. So we had that. And then COVID hit, and we were forced to rethink. So we had to reinvest and reallocate roles. And then I realized that we can actually, with a smaller team, do a lot more. But the technology was still not there. Today, we have a really lean team. And the amount of work that we do is I mean, if you see the team that's doing the work, you wouldn't believe that the output is coming from us. So technology has allowed us really to do things at scale, right? So, and I think that's what I would say. And then the industry as well has changed completely. Today, technology acts a little bit like an equalizer. So you can be a team of 2 people and you're competing with guys that they're better funded and so on. In other words, in our business, there's no better time to start a business in our industry. This is the time right now. Because it's 11.
Borrowing from that, so an example is perhaps some of the mentees that we had in our previous cohort. So somebody is either starting or thinking about starting, or they are a student in that particular space. Or if they are already a practicing nutritionist, they are perhaps a clinical nutritionist in a hospital somewhere like Tracy's story. Where do I start? And as you said, a lot has really happened up to this point in time. A lot of technology, AI is here with us. And we are looking at, okay, am I being replaced? The questions that we were asking ourselves before. So where do I start?
Well, one way to start is to first of all learn the tools, because look, we're going to be replaced, but the last people to be replaced will be the guys that understand the technology, because you still need people that train others, right? But if there's one thing that you should take advantage of, is the fact that the technology that exists today, especially for nutritionists, allows you to personalize. So you can have, some crazy amount of data, and the technology allows you to specifically do things for specific people. And I think that's a superpower, right? So I think looking at it from that point of view could actually help you differentiate yourself as well from, and then at the same time as well, the one skill that I think anybody, not only in nutrition, should learn is, and we've been saying that, is the ability to tell stories. The ability to take a very complex topic and dumb it down and make it relatable. It always works. As long as you can do that, if you use technology to help you do that, I think you'll survive.
Thank you. I hope we are learning. Great. Let's hear from Rita. Next. Pass the mic. So what we are talking about right now is redefining ourselves. And so self becomes the main character. So with that in mind, what role does self-awareness play in maintaining both mental and professional well-being?
I don't want to say the main role, but a major role. Because if you're not aware of self, then it's very hard for you to come to cognition of a lot of things. One of the things, as Tracy has said, is know who you are, know what you want, because then it also gives you the foundation of what you're going to do in future. So if I am also not aware of maybe my emotional state or my mental state, I was having a conversation with someone outside and they asked me, how do I know I'm not okay? I was like, one of the things is just being aware, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? So being aware of such things, then that will also influence a lot of how you make decisions, how you go about life. So it's a very, very important bit that I would really urge everyone to be in sync with, just being very self-aware. Because even in environments whereby you know there's conflict or just things going on, if you're self-aware, I need to stop myself here because I know what follows is maybe not good. Just having such things to keep in touch with is very important. Yeah.
All right. I think this other one is to all of us, so we can start with you. So how can collaboration between all these different industries that are represented from the panel and even some of the people that we have inside, how can collaboration fuel innovation and well-being, all of us together, from your point of view?
I will speak from the well-being point of view. So, and I think it's very important. One of the things I mentioned in my presentation is that we really need to work with nutritionists, because a client can come in and they have all these issues, and one of their major things is that maybe they're not eating well, or maybe they're just having, I had a client the other day who has coffee and a sandwich, and that is not enough to take you a whole day. I think a lot of you know that. So that collaboration is very important. Collaboration with IT is very important as well. I had someone ask about the disadvantages. Just the other day I saw somewhere that a child committed suicide because of AI, because they are going to AI to solve their problems. And another thing that has come up in psychology is that everyone runs to, like he said, runs to ChatGPT. I'm feeling stressed today, what can I do? And what has come up is that AI has become very agreeable. So it will reinforce your thoughts. So if there are negative thoughts, it will reinforce that. So it tends to be very dangerous because then it can lead you down a very bad path, So if you look at people who are suffering from various things, if it's, negative thought processes, or someone who is, having very negative thoughts, I don't want to mention much, but you will find that once they go on to ChatGPT, it will sort of encourage them in terms of maybe their thoughts, because then now it will not, it's machine learning, like you said. So whatever you program into the machine is what it will give out. So if someone maybe is having certain thoughts about maybe killing people and everything, and they go online to search for it, it will encourage that and promote that instead of the negative. So so collaboration is very important, because then at what point then does AI, do we have regulation of AI in terms of such careers, in terms of things like psychology, so that we can have a balanced state.
Are we seeing opportunity? We are? All right. Tracy, the same. How can collaboration, multi-sectoral collaboration, fuel innovation and well-being from your point of view?
I think we can just start by saying collaboration creates employment. Chris, you mentioned something about in the Western countries, they're really far. But one thing I think you can attest with me, they learn how to work with each other. If I don't know AI, there's no way I'll call Chris here, I need this and this done. But the problem I think I can say I've seen is that as Africans, we want to try it all as a one person. So the next research I'm doing is why African startups are they're getting stuck at just SMEs. We're not growing. It's because you want to do everything. So for me, collaboration actually creates employment. So you feed me, I feed you. And then it creates, for nutritionists, it gives us opportunity to do specialized nutrition services. We need to look at it in that direction. Because, for example, if today I decide to, I'm not shifting though, if today I decide to shift and do nutrition in mental health, there's so much I can do there drug-nutrient interactions. There's so much we can do there. So in terms of mental health, I look at it in specialized nutrition. So, and in parts of innovation, I'm still speaking if I'm to shift. I've combined all three, okay? So I've combined entrepreneurial, but I started with mental health. I'll use innovation. And how will I use innovation? I'll still market Smart Spoon Plus, because I'd use it to make fast and safe decisions for my clients, individualized meal plans. I don't have, as Chris said, I don't have to do things manually. I've redesigned. So some things I'd have done with like 1 hour, I'd do it with 10 minutes. And then in terms of entrepreneurial, I look at it self-branding. As I started my presentation, I don't know if most of you were not here, it's how do you expect someone to come for your service if they don't even know you exist? So for someone to actually come to your door and knock or want your services, they have to know you. So you have to brand yourself. You have to use technology, Instagram, use anything, content, as Chris was saying. And yes, he said, we'll get AIs doing our content, but I don't think AI would go in deep to understand the human body. Like my moods as a woman when I'm on a certain level of my cycle. So, yeah. So it can't take your job. It can only make your job better. And I'll say it. I said it one time. I'll support innovation because back then people used to walk. People used to walk kilometers. Then came the bicycle. Then came the boda boda. Then came the boats. There's so many modes of transportation. So till date, you can choose to walk, which is you can choose to use manual papers, you can choose to do that, or you can choose to take a jet or a yacht. It's just for your business. It's just how you decide. So, yeah.
Thank you. Over to you, Chris. Collaboration and fueling innovation and well-being. What do you think?
Well, I do not see innovation with no collaboration. The two go hand in hand, and I'll take you very quickly 3 examples, right? So the first one, very simple. There's a reason why people tell you on social media to talk to your customers and get feedback from them, right? Because it's by using that feedback and your knowledge that you're able to create something really interesting, right? Now, you all know PwC, right? The consulting company. Sorry, I have a lot of examples about consulting companies, I don't know why. But so you can imagine, this is how these guys make money. So they bill hours. So they come to a company and then if they spend a week there, you're going to suffer. But the challenge that those consultants have is that they had to always go back to the office and manually enter the number of hours that, you know, they had worked for so that the business can bill. So someone in the business said, you know what? We have programmers in the company, we have accountants, we need to come together. We need to find a solution to this thing. They sat down, they clearly defined the problems, and then it became just a matter of building an IT tool for it. Guys within the business built it automatically. So what happened then is they go to clients, they don't have to now go and waste time because it was done automatically. You know, they were feeding some data as they were working. So that's how people started getting a lot more time, you know. So you see how, and they started it in one location, and then they realized that it worked very well, and then they really applied it everywhere else, right? So collaboration, innovation. The third example that I'll take is we had a team of customer service agents working for DSTV. And the team leader one day had a brilliant idea. She just told me, you know what? There are some people in this team that have skills that we don't even know. One of the ladies had a PhD in mathematics. I'm like, what? Okay. And then she understood statistics very well. So you can imagine, a business like DSTV, there are lots of queries coming in. Their job is to answer queries. But we were doing it, but the business was not mining that data. So that girl went to her corner there and came up with some model And then one day she comes and she says, you know what, guys, I have something that I want to show you. She managed to model this whole thing to the point that we knew what queries were coming, the types of queries that were coming, how we can use the queries and the answers that were provided to better the products that DSTV had, you know, and there were lots of different things. So when I came, I asked them, so how did you guys solve this? And then she said, you know what, this is even part one. Then she came up with what she calls a knowledge base. So everybody that came was trained on that now. You see, so if we didn't involve her, we wouldn't be anywhere. So there's no way you have innovation without collaboration, right? That's just the way I see it.
Thank you. Mozart, what's your take? Collaboration, fueling innovation and well-being.
I think for me, we need to first, think from a broader perspective and think from the perspective of creating opportunities and platforms where actually these collaborations and partnerships can happen. And I'll give an example of even today. There's so many different professionals here, and not just, I'm not even speaking about, the white collar, but even just different professionals. We have a DJ, for example, audiovisual, cameraman, and how can that enhance, even nutrition as a brand? They play a part of it. There's a reason why you have a corporate DJ, and someone who just does corporate gigs, and there's a reason why you go for that person. And understanding that from that perspective, I think then fosters collaboration and just being intentional and pushing ourselves in spaces where we can partner and we can collaborate. Yeah.
Awesome conversations. Are we learning? Are we being inspired? Are we seeing opportunity? All right. So that was the first part of our conversation. Who remembers the 3 elements that we are talking about today? Anybody? Pardon? Fuel, flow, perfect. So we just did fuel, where we were discussing and just kind of understanding our purpose and our passion. Sorry. So next we are at good. And here we are navigating careers, we are navigating business and identity. So I will ask this question to all of my panels again. So this first question is, what opportunities do you see emerging in the field of product innovation in digital health from where you sit, from the different discussions that we've had today? And the fact that a lot of our industries are changing and evolving, what opportunities do you see emerging in your area and even, in other areas that we have discussed today? Who do we start with? We start with you. You're holding the mic. There you go.
I think we are living in an age where no one can deny that it's more and more about tech. So I think any and every opportunity right now that is coming is revolving around that. So I think as being in spaces where you have experts in those areas, then you're able, like the same way Chris has talked so much about AI, and I think that's where some of the opportunities lie. And when we get to understand it better, and from what we know, like our day-to-day lives and what we do, and now marry that with tech, I think we're able to see the opportunities, and that's where I think the opportunities will come from. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, there's a company that was created by a 23-year-old in the US called Scale AI. It's called Alexander Wang or something like that. And he created a company, and he started getting contracts from the government because his business solved a problem that everybody has: data. Organizing data in such a way that AI can make the best of it. In Africa, I think this is one unbelievable opportunity that we have. We will go a lot faster if some people decide to work together and create a layer of data. I mean, you have M-Pesa, we have this, we have that. Imagine if we could put all that together. This is what China has managed to do. This is where you go to China, you have something like WeChat. It does everything that you need. So I think right now in agriculture, when it comes to climate, when it comes to so many things, some people need to really go and really build those companies that will make sure that data is available. Because then the next entrepreneurs can make use of that to create companies. That's what I see. All right? Like Tracy here, I don't know how much data do you have in your database when it comes to nutrition? How many items? 2,000? Yeah. Yeah. Food. 6,000. Now, this is Kenya. Now imagine the whole of Africa. So the data should have been there, and if the data was there, you would have actually done it like that.
I won't speak on tech because this side has really spoken about tech. So I'll speak in terms of manpower. So I think opportunities for us nutritionists, let's call a spade a spade. We are the number 4 most unemployed. So, and then we can see, as Chris has mentioned, data. The levels of malnutrition in Kenya are so high. That is my opportunity. If I was in your shoes and I'm actually there, I'm looking at, will I go for overweight or will I go for underweight? That is the opportunity for us. And the other opportunity is that we are evolving. The reason why you're here, someone else maybe wasn't able to come, but they are doing their own research. So you have to move fast. You have to move fast by you getting known out there. You have to invest in yourself and you have to really do your very best to be known. Awareness. So we have 2 opportunities. I did an exercise and some people knew one or none, no nutritionist. So you can imagine being in the back of your, like just 10 people. 10 people can write your name. Those 10 people can refer other 10 people, and those other 10 people can refer. So for me, I look at it as opportunity when I see someone doesn't know a nutritionist. I'll be like, hey, my name is Tracy Ann Jerry, I'm a nutritionist. Can I be in the back of your mind? So that is opportunity for me. And then, yeah, you can use the technology that are there, but you can't use tech if you're not known.
Thank you, Rita.
So one of the things that Chris has mentioned is data, because that is also very wanting in our field. To sit and do research in terms of, mental health in Kenya is very wanting. If you want to sit and look at it, a lot of the information you'll find online is international papers and research. So it doesn't even sit and cater to us as Kenyans and people even of our age who know what is going on in our country. Yeah. So if you look at interventions, a lot of people will feel they're not, they can't interact with it because it's a bit far-fetched, because it's not from us. Yeah. So just getting data so that we can get interventions that apply to us is one of those things. And also just getting into the digital field. Although for us it's a little bit neither here nor there, because there's a lot of content online in terms of psychology and everyone wanting to give out all this content in terms of what wellness is, what mental health is. So also just then now being a person who's very well versed in your field, capturing a lot of then now what could be happening in terms of individuals locally and everything. Yeah.
All right. This one will take it back to Mozart. So we have seen that a nutritionist's journey goes beyond the clinic. So what are some of the lessons that you learned when you are transitioning, and how can other nutritionists, build strong brands that attract opportunity?
I think one of the key things is understanding yourself and, being introspective and just knowing what are your passions. As I said earlier, you might have the qualifications, but do you actually love what you do? Thinking about just being a bit selfish and just thinking about yourself in terms of what do you actually love doing. And then that then guides you in terms of the journey that you'll take. And just, as I said, being just audacious and taking those steps and being, at times, taking those risks, then that kind of shapes, shapes your journey. In terms of branding, I think that also guides, what's your brand? Is it just clocking in, doing a word round and going home? Do people know if you have a 9 to 5? What do people know you? How do people know about you at work? Are you the person who, do you have some specialities? So then that guides you in terms of what you're actually good at and what you actually enjoy doing. And then now you're able to shape up, and there's no a perfect way to do it. We're all doing it the first time. So, you just have to be audacious and, take those risks and, let life shape.
Right. Over to you, Chris. So how can we balance visibility and credibility in this new age of, digital branding, content creation? How do we balance the two?
The answer is I don't know, but I'll try to answer, right? I'm trying to give a different answer. So I know people that are not experts, but through sheer consistency have managed to create a name for themselves. So the first, if you're trying to build some sort of space on the internet for yourself, the most difficult thing is to start. The second most difficult thing is to be consistent. Now, if you're consistent, you will beat the guys that are very talented, but that do not have time to actually create consistency. Because the way it works today, online as well, is that there's technology that is driving all these platforms. And their goal is to keep people on the platform as much as possible. So if you create more content for YouTube, YouTube loves you because they can sell your content and make some advertising dollars, right?
Right.
So consistency. Now, when it comes to what to start, to be honest with you, because it's oversaturated, everybody is talking about the same thing. Let me tell you what happened to me. Okay, I don't know if I should say it on camera, but let me say it. I always say these things that I'm not supposed to say. I think it was 2020. I don't know what year it was. I think it was 2023 or 2022. I had a terrible year. Terrible year. Financially, everything went wrong. Went south. So I remember sitting at home and asking myself, okay, so what am I going to do? It's dry. Customers are acting up. So then I told myself, let me do something bold. And maybe that's what it takes. What is the one thing that no one has ever done in my industry? So what I did, okay, when I say in my industry, it's vague because we do tech, we do customer experience, we do marketing and so on. Specifically customer experience. I went and I took 10 Kenyan banks and I documented the process of opening an account. Is it possible to open an account online? And I knew that I was going to create enemies, right? Some people stopped talking to me, so what I did the 10 videos, recorded them, edited them, put them online, YouTube. Some people call me, they're pissed off. Chris, how can you expose me like this? On one side. On the other hand, some CEO gets the video about his bank, he picks up the call, he calls his team, he says, call Chris, I need to see him. Help us build our platform. You see, so sometimes you just need to be bold enough to do something that no one is willing to do because they're scared to be, they're scared of anything that might happen, because cancel culture exists. But it always works. At least you have an opinion and you stand for something. So if you're a professional and you have some sort of knowledge and you have an opinion, talk about that.
You've heard it? Great. Tracy, the Nutripreneurship program. How is it building, or rather bridging the gap between academic training and real-world market needs?
That's easy. As my presentation, we go to class to study clinical, but we don't know as easy as paying yourself when you get a consultation. I remember the first time, okay, even this gentleman on the left asked me a question. It's you, Chris. He was like, you know, you have to talk to people first. And before they believe in you, they have to see what you have to offer. So he listened. Question number 1. So, Tracy, how are you paying yourself? I was like, the company is like, no. I asked a very simple question. How are you paying yourself? So such things I never learned in class. So for Nutripreneurship is sharing that knowledge. I was privileged to invest so much. It wasn't easy to do a dual master's. And when I was in class, the only thing I was like, wow, oh my God. Or if only if all of us would have gone through this class. It's okay, first of all, I was lost because I was dealing with bankers. I dealt with lawyers. Jimmy used to sit on my left, and I just look at him, and I'm like, where? Because he was on a sabbatical leave, and I was like, are you getting this? We are doing economics. I'm like, what am I doing here? So I decided to simplify it for nutritionists by sitting back and asking myself, what are my colleagues missing out? We are missing out in terms of as easy as KRA, as easy as don't even know yourself, as self-awareness, building a brand, building a business. These are things that you go to class and study, but you can have a short course and just be able to know where to start. I think the mentees right now, everybody I've met, it's good to give pros and cons, but so far I've been given pros, is the fact that they might not be able to start, or they don't have the finance to start a business now, but each of them they feel like they have a direction. So for Nutripreneurship, that is what we are offering. We are helping you to understand yourself, know that kind of business you navigate, because there's some type of businesses, I told someone, if you're not as a chatterbox, don't even dare go to that business. You're just signing yourself up for failure. So there's such. For Nutripreneurship, there's that. We're also trying to bring in, again, collaboration. And the beauty about Nutripreneurship is that most of our mentors are not nutritionists. None. I think I'm the only nutritionist. And I was very categorical when I was doing that. It's because when I was in class and I was able to interact with different people for different fields, I realized as nutritionists, we seclude and we put ourselves in a cocoon. That is why, 1, we are not known, and then 2, why we are not learning more. Because now if I sit with someone in finance, they'll be like, what is your financial statement? What is that?
No idea.
What is credit and debit? What is that? When I go to a legal person, they're like, so have you checked the Employment Act? Hey, what is that? If I go sit with a CEO somewhere, they'll be like, okay, what is your strategic plan? Such things. So if you don't sit in those different environments, you will not understand how to have as simple as a small business. So yeah, that is Nutripreneurship for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Piggybacking on that conversation, entrepreneurship can be taxing. So Rita, what mental health practices or coping mechanisms can founders and creatives even take up or utilize in that particular space?
Yeah. So maybe I would have hoped maybe a few people can answer that, because I did that in my presentation.
Okay.
So
over to you, audience. Who do we pick on?
I would like a
You pick on
gentleman,
one.
because I did that.
I will help you pick on one person. Okay, she has volunteered. Let's start with the volunteer.
Breathing techniques.
Correct? Great. A gentleman, we will volunteer you. Please volunteer yourself. She has volunteered you. She has your neighbor.
Let me extend the courtesy.
First answer. Just what you think then. Then Rita will let us know
Oh God.
if it's true or not.
You caught me off guard.
Whatever it is that you think. Coping mechanisms, mental health practices that, even you use. Then
Wow.
let's speak of you.
I'm the bad
To
ones.
cope.
I'm the bad ones who talk to GPT.
To?
ChatGPT.
What? You had that one, right? He says he uses ChatGPT as his personal therapist. So Rita, you are out of a job right there.
And ChatGPT is the worst therapist. It will just reinforce whatever thing you're doing, whether good or bad.
Okay, you're safe. You're safe. Anybody else who wants to volunteer? Gentlemen, you have been picked on.
I like music.
Right.
I'm a big karaoke fan, so sing my heart out.
Correct? Perfect. Rita has approved. I think so. All right. I think for our entertainment segment, we have Douglas, everybody. Please, let us prepare for him. All right. Anything to add?
Yeah, so that's a lot of what people have said is that. Then the people who like to journal, I know people wonder, why should I journal? A lot of people don't know how to talk, and we're in a space whereby talking is, not very easy. Everyone is running about, going about their own lives. So journaling, then by the time you go a month or two, go back and read and go like, you usually find a different perspective or a different view as to maybe an issue you were struggling with and you were dealing with. Walking, nature walks, getting in touch with nature is important. It's important to ground. Art therapy, someone has said music, dancing, karaoke. Art therapy is also very good. Just taking care of yourself, having rituals that work for you. I had someone say they like their own ritual somewhere. Yeah. So if you're a lady and you like the whole, what do they call it, full shower routine, that one, 20 steps on a Sunday, full reset, do that. Do what works for you. Is it going to nature? Is it going for a swim? Is it going for a jog? Whatever works for you in terms of you feeling like you've reset, I think it's very, even if it's cooking, the people who like to cook for that, to bake, there are just a lot of things. They're just very individual. It's dependent on a person and what they feel is actually working for them. But just being mindful and doing all that, yeah.
Thank you. So we're almost winding up. Oh, there's a question there. Sure.
Sorry to come back. I'm in a space where most of our staffing are Gen Z buddies. Yeah. And these people are brutally honest. And sometimes it's borderline disrespect. Oh, somebody else asked, is it? So how do you differentiate between them being honest and sometimes coming off as offensive or disrespectful? And then they even affect now your mental health. You start wondering, am I too old for these people? Or I don't just relate with them?
That's an interesting question. Tracy here has said being aware, just being self-aware. And also maybe, why are you feeling disrespected is the question you should ask yourself. Why is it that whatever they've said to me, why is it sounding disrespectful to me? Yeah? Because maybe whatever they're trying to say, they have a very valid point. It's just that maybe it's too direct for you. Yeah? And that is, different generations, people have been taught how to express things differently. A different generation has not been taught how to be direct. Yeah? I was joking with someone the other day and saying, even as ladies, if you want to know if a guy is dating, you don't ask him, are you dating? You go around in circles. Ama nitapigwa na mtu, nitamwagiliwa acid. That's a different generation. They don't know how to be straightforward. But for Gen Zs, they are. So another thing is also maybe learning to listen beyond maybe their words. Listen to the message. What are they saying behind what they're saying? Not just the tone and not just the words, but the message behind it. What is it they're saying, yeah? So one, why is it disrespectful? Why am I feeling triggered? Why am I feeling annoyed by what they said? And, what is then behind the message of what they're saying? Yeah.
Answered? Great.
Tracy would like to add something.
Just to add on it, it's very funny that you said that, because you have to ask yourself, the first thing I remember Gen Z told me something, I was like, why? Back then I wouldn't have said that. So when I sat back, I realized I'm projecting. The way I used to respect my seniors is the way I expect my juniors to do so without me trying to understand my juniors, what are they saying? And then you have to listen beyond your emotions. It's not a must you answer immediately. You just have to take, as she said, you can say, I'll look into it, I'll talk. Can we have a meeting in the next 2 hours? Then you can go through your emotions, and then now you can have a conversation with them. It's not easy, but that's how I came to navigate it.
All right. Well answered? Good, good. So as we conclude, just 2 questions, one to Mozart and the other to Tracy. So to Mozart, how do you effectively communicate your value to stand out? And especially now with influencers and with a lot of misinformation, how do you communicate your value?
I think first is understanding your brand or the brand that you represent. And then secondly, understanding your audience. I'll give a very good example, which is based on what I do. So I work in a hotel, and as you know, a hotel has different products. So we have accommodation, we have F&B outlets, we have meeting and events. So these are different audiences. So how I reach out to someone who, or to an audience who I want to come for accommodation is different from how I reach out to someone who I just want to come for dinner. So understanding that then, puts you at a better position. Even when doing ads, I'll give a proper example. Meta, penalizes you for doing poor ads. I will target, if I'm targeting a product worth 50,000, I don't want someone who sees that ad and says, these guys are too expensive. Then I'm targeting the wrong person. So I want, if you're seeing my ad, then you're the right person. And it goes deeper into even how you do how you analyze your data. I'll target someone who's looked for a golf course, or someone who searched for an iPhone 17 or for a luxury product. So what are you actually pushing? You need to understand your audience. So as a nutritionist, you're trying to build your brand, and you're packaging yourself. Maybe you're targeting your pediatric kind of nutritionist, but how you're communicating is so general. So, and you're wondering why am I not getting business? Why am I, So it's very intentional in understanding your brand and your audience. Yeah.
Thank you. To Tracy. So, and for this question, I want Tracy to begin, and then I need somebody from the audience to also answer this question, as it will also segue to questions from you. So if you have any question to everybody in the panel, you can start by answering my question, and then you can ask your question. We are together? Good, good, good. So Tracy, if you could design the future workplace or career model for your industry, what would it prioritize to keep everyone both healthy and fulfilled?
In my industry?
Yes.
First of all, I'll take the 8 to 5 thingy out of the system. That one, I'm so against it, because we have evolved. We have people who, I'll say for nutritionists, we can work anywhere. In a hotel, in a gym. So if someone wants to go to the gym at 5 a.m., why am I asleep at 8? Like, if someone wants to work out at 12 in the midnight, what am I doing in bed? So 8 to 5, first, we need to scrap it off. You need to find a time schedule that works for your clients. So that would be 1, I'd do that. And then 2, I'm very advocate in ensuring, maybe because I've also taken my journey, in ensuring that your mental space is at a good space. It doesn't have to be at a perfect space, but it has to be at a good space. So for example, if you know you have a bad day, please don't bring that energy in there, like in the working environment. Know yourself to a place that you can sit in your office, go through whatever you're going through, then have a meeting with us. So I'd do that, and I would serve food. I remember in the MOD I did that. There's a very good research. Bosses who are here, Mozart, Chris, Douglas, bosses who are here, you need to serve food to your employees. It increases productivity. You can serve lunch, you can serve tea. Check the research. There is enough data research that actually shows if you serve food, someone won't go. There was one for Mjengo. You see the way, why do you think Mjengo guys get delivered food? Have you ever asked yourself that question? It's because the guy who, if you give them permission to go, you know they are paid per day. So if they go outside and buy food, they would take like 2-3 hours. So if your construction is supposed to take 3 days, it will take 2 weeks, which will cost your organization. And if you treat your team and also your staff and also your partners or whoever is working in that working organization, not only as, sometimes we lose the thing and we treat them as just our employees. And have a way that you can listen to your people. So that would be my ideal job. And I think some people here are really happy about it. Senior, yeah, I'm speaking because that's what I would want to have.
Yeah.
So.
And we are opening it up to these people. If you could design your own workplace, what would it prioritize? A volunteer before I volunteer you? I can see you want to volunteer.
First of all, yeah, I like what Tracy has said. 8 to 5 needs to go. We have so much to do, and the time, like if you're just in one place doing one thing, who's going to do all that is left to do? Yeah, but for me, it's an idea that I'm thinking of working on, is making people like time to bask in the sun. Yes. 8 to 5 people, you know, so I did just like a brief study, and I noticed people who work indoors the whole day have low vitamin D levels. Yes, you've been in school, you were in class, you come, you're working in an office, vitamin D levels go almost on the floor. Yeah, so that's one thing. It's a small thing, but it would make a difference. The other thing is just time to read and having that library. We have, where we work, we have a library, but people don't go there. Time to educate yourself about what you're doing. It's not enough to just read once and then you're done for life. Nimemaliza kusoma. Keep educating yourself on things that are changing, what's coming up in your field. Keep educating yourself as you go. Yeah, you don't just stop at one point. You keep going. There's so much to learn. You never stop learning. Learning is a continuous process.
For me, I think one thing, even like joining the job market, one thing that I'd love is mental health first. Because I actually quit my first job because of the mental health issue. I was like, how am I coming to work and I'm so anxious? How am I coming to work and I'm not 100% and you want me to be at 100%? So I told my boss, I can't. For my own mental health and for your own business, because I can't run on negative. So for me, mental health first. A people-loving environment where when you say you're collaborating, let us see, let me as a CEO or me as a boss, I'm reaching out to the small people. How is business? How is work? Just to get that collaborative nature, because people say it's a collaborative environment, but core ground be totally different. So for me, people-centered, mental health first. Yes.
What would you prioritize? Oh, sorry. The question was, or what we are answering, if you could build your own career or your own industry, what would it prioritize?
Good afternoon. I think my priority is on the people resources. I think you, as a director, as a CEO, the person who is the connector between your client and your organization matters. So their well-being, are they consuming the services that you're offering to their clients? Could they stand and say that Oncotrition has helped me and allow me to use that? could they stand and say that Oncotrition has helped me in my journey before they link you to the next person who signs up for your services? Thank you.
All right. Any questions? We are concluding.
Okay. My name is Becky. I have a question. So, how do we reconcile purpose with reward or financial gain? Because as Tracy was talking about opportunity, she mentioned data and how in Kenya there are high rates of malnutrition. What if your passion lies on the other end of malnutrition, which is undernutrition, which is often a burden of the poor? So how do you get your reward out of that?
Is it directed to Tracy?
Everyone.
Oh.
I knew it would just come straight to me. Luckily, I have worked with undernutrition. Actually, that is cancer patients, stage 4. So what I'd say is if you're planning to move towards under, you have to do something that, you have to do a market survey. If this is undernutrition, of course, they have more medications, they have all this, so there's financial constraint. So why I see a problem when I definitely know my client is being charged 10,000 on medication, and then comes here nutrition. Remember, we are not yet known, not yet accepted, in quotes. Then I'm there charging 5,000. Who will come see you? No. So you have to understand, as Mozart said, you need to break down your clientele. So you have high-end, you have middle, and you have low-end clients. You can't charge all of them the same. So if you want to have financial reward, is you have to understand who are you charging the 10,000, who are you charging the 5,000, and who are you charging the 2,000, and you have to have a why for them to come back. Because I can't come and tell you, now, I'm selling you this shoe at 50,000, and I'm not telling you, have you seen the way adverts are bags, like these nice things? It has extra pockets, it has all these things. So you have to really distribute the pricing very, very well. So for undernutrition, I would say, because I have worked with clients, for cancer patients, I don't charge anything above 4,000, and I can speak through experience because they don't come. It's better to have 10 returning clients than just having one client that you're charging 10,000 who will come once in a month. So can you imagine? And again, here comes innovation, because if you're charging 4,000 and then you're taking 3 hours to generate a plan, or 4 days, you're losing more. So you have to really work with adding into innovations so that it can make your processes faster, and it faster equivalent to cheaper. So that's how you do it. I hope I've answered you. Okay. The others, okay.
I think my view is you need to also think broader in terms of the money doesn't have to come directly from, you know, the person who's benefiting. You can sell your skill set and value to even organizations. So it's how you package yourself and how you brand yourself, and thinking broader that, you know, that the money doesn't have to come directly from the person who's benefiting. So I think just thinking outside the box and not just, you know, directly that, you know, you're not just selling water to someone, you know, just thinking broader and packaging yourself differently. Yeah.
No, seriously, I actually like what he said, and I think that's the direction I was going in. So sometimes you would create a platform that you could then sell to somebody else. I mean, there are NGOs, for example, that are willing to actually come and participate, but they require you to have done some groundwork, right? And sometimes that is more lucrative even than what you would have done if you did it on your own and you went on the other side. So I definitely agree with what he has to say. It really depends on how you look at it and how you package it, actually.
With all that, then maybe something else I could add is maybe I'll give an example from my field, because then you'll find there could be a possibility of, if you are my client and I want to retain you, I will give you piecemeal information so that your number of sessions are more. But is that aligning to my purpose? Yeah. In any other case, I could give you proper therapy the way it's required, then you would go and do a referral. Yeah, you'd go like, I went and saw Rita, and actually it just took me a couple of sessions and I'm fine. And you tell someone else and someone else. So, referral is also very good, but also does it align to your purpose and your passion? So the financial reward is also here, not there. Yeah. Also, are you fine with getting financial reward and not meeting your purpose? That's also another question you should ask yourself, because you could be, and I'm sure on the internet you've seen people, I was listening to Will Smith say the other day, you can chase all the money, but at the end of the day when you go home to bed, are you feeling fulfilled? So maybe that's another question to ask as you're weighing that.
So that is why sessions take so long. Okay, now we know. Now we know. Now we know. Another question?
I have a question. Of course, first I would like to thank the panelists for today and the insights that they've been able to share. I think for us is one thing I feel we've not been able to address, although with the previous speaking, a part of it's partly addressed. Talking of a nutritionist who's maybe gone through the program or who has established this is my area of passion, and for them to take that leap, it needs that financial push. Or you've developed this application or you have that model in mind and it needs that financial input to it for it to go to the next level. So what are the financing options that are available for nutritionists or any other profession that is in the room that have worked for the brands that are here or represented? So yeah.
Oh, okay. So for nutripreneurship, yes, sign up, please. You asked about financial access, options. Okay. So one thing when you're coming for nutripreneurship, you can't find finance or funding if you really don't know what you want funding for. So that's where we start. And then I'm also still getting funding. It's not an easy journey, for sure, because you have to come out clean. You see all those 2 small assignments, finding your unique proposition. No one wants to support a pink shoe that has been supplied by 5 people. Someone wants something unique. Will you add a flower on top of it? So you first have to work on yourself and the product that you want to bring outboard. Are there funding? I have been told by so many people there are fundings out there. Options, yes, there are startup companies, venture companies that can give money, but would I advise you for you to jump into that? No. As based on, see here we are helping each other, as based on the advice I've been given, it's because if you don't understand the value of what you're bringing onto the table, someone might undervalue or over. So you might find yourself, I think there was this, is it a seed? It was a seed. There's a guy who had a company and he brought on board a lot of people who were bringing in money. He didn't know that he was being bought off the company. Because of what? You're chasing funding. So you have to really, they're there. I can share, I have so many, I look at them, I'm like, okay, they're asking for all these things. But you don't feel like you're ready yet because have you really understood the value? If I come ask you today, I'll give you $1 million. $1 million today is not $1 million next year. So you might undervalue your company or your services. So for sure they are there. And if you're venturing out as a nutritionist, as Mozart has said, and I will say, I do presentations, I'm paid, there are so many things that you can do first to generate money. Don't just think in one direction. So for me, I'd say start by building yourself and understanding your value, and then now you can bring on board people giving you money, because yes, there is money out there. You just have to know how to package yourself.
Allow me to wear my second hat of the day. Please sign up for Nutripreneurship, because the person seated behind you tackles our finance class. And raising capital is one of the things or the conversations that we talk about. Next question.
Thank you, Melissa. I just wanted to give my input on the question she had raised, because I remember from the class, those who were there, we tackled a question on determining your rates and your rate card. And just to remind you that at the end of the day, we cannot ignore the fact that if we are not getting value financially from Oncotrition, for example, it might not be able for the team to deliver their purpose. So you need to strike a balance in terms of, you have to realize the cost of doing your business, what is happening, and who is your target market. Your experience is the same, of course, will help you to come up with the rates, location and client base. And I'll give a very good example. If you go to a kiosk around where you live, the Fanta Orange 300 ml is costing a certain amount of money. My friend there will tell us, Radisson Blue, munatuzia pesa ngapi? Fanta Orange 300 ml, 500. Yeah, 500. It's the same one I buy at. Na imeandikwa, by the way, they are very shameless in quotes, because the bottle is written 50 bob. Sindio? So give him the mic, I see us fighting.
I think that's the reason why I talked about understanding your audience.
Thank you.
So there's someone who will tell that 500 and they don't react.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see? So, and this is why we said and we say that you need to know who you're offering your services, to know what are you going to charge. You have to be aware of that, and of course competition and what is there in the market, so that you do not overdo it or even underdo it. Then most importantly, the results you deliver. Do they speak to the cost that you charge? The results that you deliver. And of course, another costing element is the time that you spent in terms of you preparing and working for your purpose. Sign up for that class, I will say. Thank you.
Allow us to conclude, please. There is a burning question. Okay. The last question, please.
I just wanted to ask concerning nutrition, especially. I think we have a big gap in the world of classwork. This question goes to Tracy. Because at times when you go to practice, you find what we are taught. It's different completely. So right now I'm trying to do, I'm in the lecture world right now. So I'm trying to see how we can put what you're practicing right now to classwork. But you find there's a gap maybe with the lectures we are having, what kind of information and all that. So what do you think we would do maybe to try and give the right information for maybe our students to be where we want them to be?
Thank you. It just reminded me when I was a lecturer at KMTC. So it's very easy. I'll give you my trick, what I used to do. When they're going for attachments, I used to tell them, like even when you're teaching, teach them, because you have experience in the clinical field, take clinical, like practicals to them. Like when you're teaching, ask them practical questions that you have seen. In terms of malnutrition, tell them, I have this patient and this is happening. So you start probing their minds on how they, when they're on the field, how to think. So we have to start it in class. And then when they are going out for their attachments or interns, I tell them, make sure you network. And when you go to the hospital, and just it does not, that's not your field, do not be discouraged. So start telling them to think outside the box. like open their mind, because that is one thing we never had in class. You never had in class the opportunity. You're told it's just not the hospital, it's just not the NGOs, you can do culinary. So imagine if you start, it means planting a seed. It just needs you to plant a seed so that in the next 5, even 2 years, you'll start seeing a very different, meaning to say tweet a grade, yeah, nutritionist. So that's what I used to do. Don't focus so much on the rest, because again, some of our mentors are some of our lecturers who you're working with right now. They're still wired to a certain way they work and the way they see things. So it takes you more time and energy trying to change their thought process instead of focusing in the new generation that is coming. So if they decide to teach like this, you can have your own better way. And that is what you're telling you, your unique selling point will be like, everybody will be like, she, and people will start referring even their children, and people will want you more in their schools. So yeah, that would be my advice.
All right, we can conclude. So in conclusion, I am sure we have seen that redefining ourselves requires innovation, requires collaboration, requires passion, right? We have seen that. All right, thank you so much, our panelists, for your insights. Thank you, our audience, for engaging. Let's continue the conversation offline and build a healthier nation, right? So we'll project a QR code. We invite you to please give us feedback. You know, we're also learning. We're also having an open mind with all this. So please tell us what you think. Tell us where we could improve. And I'll give it back to our MC. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Let's appreciate Melissa and the panel. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Tracy, Chris, and Mozart. Haven't we enjoyed the panel? In fact, I just wish I had the capacity of keeping you guys the whole day here. Yeah, but I know at some point people will start, the energy levels will start going down. But I think for us it's a lesson. We're learning this, having these forums. Already we are getting feedback that we need to do this often. So we will go and sit down and see how do we do this. And for us, I think it's an encouragement that actually this is happening. We were crossing our fingers. Today I was telling Tracy, I woke up at 4:30 to pray, you know, so that people come. Because, you know, as far as Tuesday, we were almost a quarter the number who had confirmed. So we're just wondering, I mean, our panelists and our speakers had confirmed, like we're saying, like, oh my, now these guys will come and we'll just have a round table. But but we're grateful that you came, you've taken the time, and now we've learned that we need to do this more often, and so we are going to plan better and even share more details. By the way, I just new on our Instagram, because I know that's where most of people are, other than TikTok. So if you want to follow us, please follow us on Oncotrition HC, and the O is a capital. So you will actually see our first post. You know, you'll just see our first post that we have posted. So please follow us on that. But also, we're on LinkedIn. So for those who are on LinkedIn also, please follow us on Oncotrition Healthcare Limited. So please follow us on that. And then also we are trying to work on the other forums, the socials. But those two, please do that. As we come to conclude, I just want to say something that was shared about the entrepreneurship program. I think Tracy had actually shared about the 6-week program that we do, that we're helping nutritionists become entrepreneurs. And as I shared before, when Tracy shared with me the story and told me, you know, like nutritionists are only equated to government institutions. And I told her, for sure, even me, I know that. I've been having that. And I told her, you know, just seeing how things are changing in our world, you know, just seeing about health, people are becoming more conscious about nutrition. So that's how we came up with that program, just to help nutritionists be able to navigate different disciplines. So we do personal development, we do business and innovation, we do finance, we do also talk about HR, you know, and we just talk about finding your niche, you know, and also we talk about the legal. We have a lawyer who actually teaches 2 classes just to talk about what is the legality. And I'm feeling that we might have to add a mental module to that. Yeah, Rita, amen. Yes, just to have it just on a holistic program. And after that, we're working on how, after the 6 weeks, to start a mentorship program where if you feel like, you know, I need to learn more about finances, that we can link you to the mentor and you can start a journey there. Maybe it's finances or it is personal development, whatever you will feel that actually you want to learn more. And we started in, we did sort of like a testing cohort where we got guys to come and they did it for free. And we were able to take them through the 6 weeks and they gave us what we need to improve. Then we took a while before we launched now the paid cohort. So I proudly want to announce that we have finished the first paid cohort of the Nutripreneurship. I think that's, thank you very much. And we want to celebrate those people just in the next few minutes. We want to celebrate them and just to thank them for taking those 6 weeks program. And so I just want them to stand so that we celebrate you. If you know you are in this, the first cohort, you know, of the Nutripreneurship program, please stand. We just want to recognize you. Yes, let's appreciate them. Yeah, you know, we've been meeting online, so I'm actually seeing them for the first time. Yeah, I'm just seeing them physically for the first time. And you can have your seats. I just want to tell you that your soft online certificate will be coming to your email, just to certify that you went through this program. And then we're going to have the physical one, which has to be, what is it called? It needs to have the KNDI, you know, seal and all that, so that it is actually a, you know, a certified certificate. But the electronic one, you will have it by the end of today. Maybe I can just ask one person, maybe ask Wahoo, just to share in just like 30 seconds, just what your experience has been for the 6 weeks.
Wow, good evening, everybody. Good. Wait, can I start again? Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to say this has been an amazing session, and I'm really proud to have met up with all of you, and even to meet up with Tracy Ann, Jimmy, and all the other facilitators that were there during the online time. What I felt and what I learned is that she kind of gave us a pathway to what can be done out there. There were many options that came up, and then also knowing your personality, knowing where you're strong in and what you can do. There was also the unique value proposition, which now you need to understand who you are, how you can go out there and how you can sell yourself. There was communication also, there was branding. I mean, the list was endless. We learned so much that I even feel I'm still learning even now. I'm still reading what I needed to have, what you presented. And I'm at a different space right now, and I feel I'm more empowered now going forward, and I really do appreciate the cohort that we did. Thank you so much to all of you that made it possible. I appreciate.
Thank you so much, Wahu. And I just want to mention, when we started the program, Wahu told me, I don't know if I'm going to, like this thing of technology and stuff. And I told her, be encouraged. Even me, I was in that space, and now I've learned how to navigate and all that. And it's amazing how just to see the transformation that is there. So, other than the mentors, we have mentees. Other than the mentees, we have mentors. And I'm just going to ask Kelvin to come. We have 5 mentors, and unfortunately, the 4 mentors were not able to come because of work assignment. So, at least we have a representation from Kelvin, and he will just say in 30 seconds, and then also there's something that he wants to do for the class. Okay.
Thank you, Jimmy. Good afternoon. I'm delighted to be here and to be part of Oncotrition. I think I value partnerships. It's one of the, I would say, easiest and most sure way of growing. Yeah, so that cohort was a good one. Being the first one, as you said, the paid, I put in the word paid. And of course, I am looking forward to having many more, and I believe that you people learned. Those of us who have not been into one, preach. I think information was brought to a one-stop shop in various categories. Thank you so much for that platform. I am also delighted to be meeting the team behind it, the CEO and the rest of you all. Thank you so much. As a mentor, I do finances for business finance and personal financial wellness, investment and risk management. I partner with different organizations. I'm one person who is very careful with who I partner with. So I partner with the likes of Sanlam Investments, Alliance Investments, Standard Investment Bank, and Britam, and many others for various investment and special funds. So that is my line of work. I gave some people some assignment. Yeah. So finance is a language or a lesson we were never taught in school. And if we are not careful, I said just a minute, I said, what you are financially to yourself is what you could transform to your business. Because you are the one who is going to be making certain decisions and approving certain decisions. So you have to be careful how you relate with money as a person before you take it to your business. So there is what we call a personal finance wellness calculator. I gave that as an assignment, and I said, if you wanted to go to Europe, you are given a map right here to go to Europe. The very first thing you need to do on that map is identify where you are. So if you don't identify where you are financially, forget about where you want to go. So I gave your people a calculator. I even came again and said, please do this calculator, and I have 2 people who only did. So I'll read them very quickly, and I said I'll give them a gift. So it's our time to see those who obeyed. So I have Becky and Jerry Gekanga. They are not here. Becky is here. Please help me those 2 umbrellas that are there. So the other one the CEO is going to receive for her, but mwenye yako kwanza kujie is zawadi. Congratulations. Where do you want to be? Shika. Asante sana. Thank you so much. I'm reviewing your calculator. I'm seeing your net worth, the way it is, and I believe I'm going to give you a free session for us to move forward. Thank you. The other one, so this is Becky. Good. Njeri, mchukulia yake. I think pia atapata bahati. Have you met Njeri before? Good. Mchukulie. Asante sana. Thank you so much and God bless you. Yeah, the same offer she's still getting. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Calvin. You've seen, the benefit of doing the program. So, please, actually, Wahu told me today, like, hey, I did not finish my assignment. Okay, hey, what on a Nico hapa? Yeah, I was showing Wahu. That's Kelvin, the finance. He said, wow, I didn't even finish his assignment. Hey, okay. So it's a serious program. We have a portal. It has assignments. It has recordings for the class. As in, it's like a school. So it's not just I'm sending you a link and that's it. It's actually a portal. You register. We get to know who you are, your details, and then even joining the class, you have to join it through the portal. You cannot join just like that. You have to join through the portal so that we know you've attended class. So coming 2026, in February, we are launching the second cohort for the entrepreneurship program. So look out for us on the Instagram. We'll be sharing that so that you can be able to register. You can register through our website so that we know that you're in. And then from there, we can be able to start the 6 weeks journey, right? We're coming to the close. It is 2:30. You know, sometimes, like a preacher, they say, this is the third time I'm saying we are finishing. So this is the third time. The real time. So I just want to do a vote of thanks before we close. First, I just want to thank our panelists and our speakers. So I want to thank you, Rita from CBT. And by the way, CBT, they have their roll-up banner out there. So they actually run a therapy clinic. So please, if you want to, therapy is not when things are bad. Like if you just want to unload, please do so. So she's from CBT and she works with other professionals there. Also just want to thank Chris. I mean, we've learned a lot. I think I have learned a lot today because I love technology, and for sure some of the things he's talked about I'm going to go and implement. So thank you so much, Chris. Mozart, thank you so much. Finally, I've gotten to see you face to face. Yeah, we've talked on the phone for another online, so thank you so much. Mozart works for, is it Radisson Blue? Yes, works for Radisson Blue, so please, if you want to go and pamper yourself, staycation, the works, yeah, please, just go and ask for Mozart. I'm putting him on the spotlight, and for sure, he will need for you something. Also, we want to thank Parkland Sports Club, and by extension, want to thank Susan. Susan, can you just wave your hand to... yes, Susan is a member here, and she actually is the one who was able to allow us through her account for us to be able to have this. So we're truly grateful for that. And actually, yesterday when I was walking, I was told by the marketing manager that I can walk on that direction. There's some places there. If you don't want to go home, there's a sports bar. There's a Koroga place there called Rolling Stones, and you don't need your membership. You don't need membership. You can actually just go there and unwind. So please, we are not fukuzaing you. Please feel free if you want to go and just ask the security guys where is Rolling Stones, and they can show you where it is. Also, just want to thank our team, starting from Tracy, our CEO, Melissa, who helped us just to coordinate everything for today. In absentia, Derek, who is our IT, and also to thank Lorraine, who's our finance person and just keeps us in check so that we do not go overboard. Some of us, we dream and dream and then she brings us to tell us, now this is how it is. But we're very grateful that she's been able to do that. But also I want to do a special mention to Michelle. Michelle, just stand up and wave. Yes, Michelle was in the inaugural cohort that we did to test, and she actually agreed to come and help us just to do the registration. So thank you so much, Michelle. And then lastly, our providers. First, I just want to start with our live stream guys. There are guys on live stream, so sorry I did not recognize you guys, but you're important to us. Thank you. Thank you for attending this online. I just want to thank Robert. Robert is behind there. And Regina. Regina is the one who at the camera. Thank you so much for live streaming. We've been live streaming on YouTube and our Zoom account. So for those people who are not able to attend. Also, I just want to thank Joseph, who's been taking nice photos. Let me tell you, I've seen a sneak peek. I don't know if it is a mark. It's the mark, but I think it's the pictures. So he's been doing very nice pictures, and please give him work. Yeah. So I'm marketing for you, Joseph. Yeah. So for sure, and follow him on Instagram. Also, I want to thank Maurice. Maurice is the one who's been making sure that our presentations are in check. So thank you so much, Maurice, for that. And then last but not least, you've seen we have very good sound. Yeah? So actually, it is through DJ Makucha. That's what he told me his name is. So thank you so much. Let's appreciate these guys. Let's appreciate all this team. Thank you so much. So on behalf of Oncotrition Healthcare Limited, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for indulging with us. Thank you for the sessions we've had. And I want to promise you, this is not the first and the last. We are going to have more of these sessions, and now we are learning more on how to do it better. So please watch out for the other sessions that we're going to do. And our prayer is that at the end of next year, we'll be able to have a conference. And that's what we are praying, that we'll have a nutripreneurship conference for nutritionists. So, and just pray for us even as we dream towards that. We are praying and hoping towards that. For myself, Jimmy Ndirango, I just want to say thank you so much. Have a blessed afternoon and the rest of the weekend. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Well, the informal part, we've come to the end, and we just want to request not you to leave. You can be able to just to connect with others. Now you can clap. And oh, sorry. And yes, you wanted to send them the sticky notes?
So we played a game, and you were able to write what you want or what you offer. So I think we've been able to stick who can help you with their services. So you just go to the place you put your sticky note and just interact with the person. Yeah, you know, just we need to know each other. Please, next time when we come, please don't write 0 nutritionist. You'll have known the nutritionist. And even if you are not seeking for any help, you do know someone who's seeking help, and the services are out there. So this is just a way of creating awareness. We are here to help. Okay? So yeah, thank you so much for coming, and hope to see you the next one.
Thank you so much. Before you leave, I just want to request, Joseph wants to take a group photo. So I'll do a selfie while we are seated here. And then we'll go outside there. He will show us where we need to take the group photo. But thank you so much. Let me take the selfie and then we'll be done.